Namaste, Salam. Welcome to Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas. Get ready to meet an amazing soul जो एक magical musical maestro तो है ही, but साथ ही साथ I'm sure there is a lot to learn from his life. He is an amazing person, but for that you have to witness all that. So let's get to it. Hello sir, welcome to Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas. I'm so happy to have you today and looking forward to this conversation because आपको इतने टाइम से हमने टीवी पे देखा है. You are not just an amazing composer, you are not just rocking in music, but आपकी शायरी हो गई या फिर आप जिस तरीके से बातें करते हैं, I've always loved that.
Thank you, Sapna, and it's a pleasure talking to you.
It's right to say that you are a pioneer when it comes to reality shows, right from the early 2000s to even today. How do you think the industry or the scenario has evolved?
So let's rephrase your question. अगर आप मुझसे पूछें कि you ask me now about reality shows, but when I started, there was no such thing as reality shows. I was about 14 when I started. 80s में जब आया, there were great composers like Lakshmikant Pyarelal, R.D. Burman, Kalyanji Anandji. I mean, these kind of information has to be given out to all the youngsters who keep on hearing old songs sometimes and wonder who's composed it. Great songs. But when I entered, I had this competition from these great guys. But I loved it because हम लोग अपने जो मेहनत करते हैं, लोग बोलते हैं ना आपने मेहनत कैसे की, how did you become the composer you are, is because we learned from these masters. और जितनी तकलीफें होती थी, for example हमें फिल्म नहीं मिलती थी, there was nothing happening for me at that time. उस लड़ाई करते 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 हमने 80s के अंदर कुछ फिल्में मिली हैं. Then I came into the 90s. When I came into the 90s, I do remember just before बाजीगर was फिर तेरी कहानी याद आई, and then बाजीगर came and took off. By the time 2000 entered, suddenly there was a change. Reality shows were coming in. So the first show that I signed was, to understand your question and answer your question, is Indian Idol. उसकी अपनी कहानी, how I signed it, what happened, वो तो कमाल ट्रिविया है. लेकिन right from that time till today, I would say, and I'm going to take the side of Saregama and Indian Idol, is because ऐसा platform मिला है youngsters को. Look, the talent that this country has is amazing. Now मैं जो बात कहना चाह रहा हूँ, आपके जरिए मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, whether it's UP, whether it's Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Maharashtra, Northeast, you go anywhere in India, there's tremendous talent. It's a very talented country. These platforms gave them a life. So how I view all this, कि हमारे ज़माने में we didn't have this kind of platform. I didn't have this kind of platform to showcase my talent. All I knew was I had a harmonium. I had to literally plead for work because there were some outstanding composers. उनके सामने अब क्या? How could you get an entry? I mean, to put my foothold into it, just to tell them to open the door was difficult. Lekin, these youngsters will come in with their voices, their talent. They come in front of you, they come in front of you judges. अगर अच्छा लगता है, and if the जनता likes them, they are there. So I think I am a very, very positive person. I believe ये बहुत अच्छा हुआ है. It's helped a lot of people to find a foothold in the industry or to make their own kind of music or do shows all over the world. And जो हम कहते हैं ना कि घर की जो रोटी होती है, उसका साधन कहाँ से मिले, वो उनको इस शो से मिला है. So I think it's fantastic. I view it as something, as a gift from the gods. And I want to thank all the people, the ones who started this trend of reality shows, even fiction shows, non-fiction shows. But TV is a great medium, and now of course everything has changed. We have come to OTT, we have come to now even Z5. Just yesterday went global. That's a big thing in 4 regional languages. There's Disney Hotstar, there's Amazon, Netflix. So I mean, this is your time. आप लोग का time है ये.
But let me ask you this then. Do you think that favoritism exists in reality shows?
Sapna, this has been asked so many times that I'm going to answer now. And the media has a right to ask this. They have a right. They have to, I mean, when I'm confronted with this question, कि आपको लगता है कि आपने इसकी साइड ली है, ये उसकी साइड ली. I mean, that's what you're trying to imply. It doesn't happen. In the end, it's only the judges who take a step back and the Janta votes. For example, Saregama, we had Albert Cabo as the winner. Very good, he won. I'm very happy for him. But people thought, oh, that girl will win. But the votes that came for Albert, you just couldn't do anything. He's a great singer, but the votes were overwhelming. So you can't have, ki ye mera favorite, this girl is my favorite, this guy is my favorite. You can't. At a point you can, because say, अरे यार ये लड़का अगर जीते तो बहुत मजा आ जाएगा. Yeah, this girl should win. But then the vote system comes in, and you just can't play with those votes. If someone, I mean, Janta says this is the person we want, you have to listen to them. And finally, Janta is God. The people know. गाना था ना, ये पब्लिक है, सब जानती है.
सब जानती है. आपने जैसे बताया कि आपने बहुत सारी स्ट्रगल्स की, उसके बाद आप कहीं जाके you shined, as in you came in front of so many people. तो कभी ऐसा कौन सा दौर था कि जब आपको लगा that you have arrived, this is Anu Malik's era now?
So I'm going to say this in a very different way. You know, when I started and I heard songs of R.D. Burman, whom I adore, or Shankar Jaikishan, I used to wonder, wow, what music. But when I sat down alone, I started humming tunes. I said, Saraswati Maa ki kripa hai. I can make songs. I asked my dad this. He said, take this newspaper. These are the words written on it. Can you do something right now in front of me? And then right now in front of him, I composed a tune on the words, which I didn't know. But it's like, you can give me any word. For example, let's put it this way. Just say something. I don't know what's in your head.
Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas.
So now you just said Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas. So now look at me. I've gone into that process. So I've started making it a song. Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas. The tune has just come out. Baaton Baaton mein with Sapna Vyas. Din acha बीतेगा, दिन अच्छा बीतेगा, क्योंकि सामने बैठी सपना व्यास. नाउ अब जो भी आएगा वर्ड्स आएंगे. सो नाउ इफ यू टेक आउट दीस वर्ड्स, तो ट्यून क्या बनी है? तारी रारी रम तम तारारम, तारी रारी रम तम. आई यूज दोज वर्ड्स टू मेक अ ट्यून. अब इसमें हम अच्छे वर्ड्स डालते हैं. तेरी आंखों का ये जादू है, तेरी आंखों का ये जादू है, देखो देखो ना दिल बेकाबू है, तेरी आंखों का ये जादू है. This is Anu Malik. The Janta is slowly realizing that his shairis are not planned, his tunes are not planned. Yes. This is Saraswati Maa's blessings. अभी मैंने आपने बोला था बातों बातों में सपना व्यास, तो मैंने उस वर्ड को लेकर ट्यून बनाना शुरू किया. And suddenly I changed that, took out those words and put a more romantic thought. तेरी आंखों का ये जादू है, तेरी आंखों का ये जादू है, ओ देखो देखो ना दिल बेकाबू है, कैसा ये जादू है. डडम टुडुडुडुडुम तुम तुम दुरुम दुरुडुडुडुम तुम तुरुम स्ट्रिंग्स तारम तारीरा तीरारी तरारी. By the way, the rights belong to me.
I was just going to say, okay, we just got a jingle done.
Yeah. So I just made a song. और इसी तरह मेरे गाने बने. So when I answer your question, how did I know I'd arrived? But I was struggling so much, I didn't have the time to even cry. मैं आपको एक अपने दिल की बात बताना चाहता हूँ. I was struggling so much. वो एक होता है ना लेजर, रोने का भी एक लेजर होता है कि यार हमारा कोई नहीं है, हम अकेले बैठे हैं, कोई हमें पूछता नहीं. I didn't have the leisure. क्या आदमी लेजर में आराम से ये बातें बोल रहे. No, all I was doing was working. I was newly married. When I got married, I was very, very young. And I said, how am I going to supply? Give her a house, make her happy. ये thought चलते थे. तो I never, I don't wallow in self-pity. तकलीफें मैंने बहुत देखी, इतनी तकलीफें देखी कि I would not wish my pain on anybody in the world. But ये तकलीफें किसने नहीं देखी? Let's put it this way. अगर मैंने देखी तो आपने भी देखी हैं. जो हमारा इंटरव्यू ले रहे हैं, जो हमारे कैमरामैन हैं, वो भी उनकी अपनी तकलीफ है. So instead of crying in self-pity, what I used to do was to work hard. And मेरे दिमाग में बात थी कि अगर मैं किसी को हंसा सकूं through my music, through my शायरीज, and if I can reduce this person's pain, that is what God has sent me for. This is what I feel. So people have laughed at me also. People have said, यार कमाल लड़का है यार, कहीं भी खड़ा होकर काम मांग लेता है. He just comes around and says, here are my tunes. Now you know how the tunes come out. You just I mean, I didn't know these words are in your head. So you are a proof of it. That it
Yes,
happened in front of
witness,
me.
and so many people, not just me.
Yeah, no, but the one who's interviewing me, so that was not planned. So I started making songs to make people happy, feel good, and take away their gum. And then one day when I remember when I did Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi, thanks to Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, he gave me this film. I had done an earlier film like Ek Jaan Hai Hum, Soni Mawal, Mard. Great films, great producer directors. But then again, I went up and then I was down. My life has been like a roller coaster. So I said, how am I going to break this wall to feel I've arrived? So I remember one very big producer, director's family was passing by. My song had become a hit, Tere Dar Pe Sanam. And they said, are you the composer of Phir Teri Kahani Yaad Aayi? They shouted from the window of the car.
Acha.
I said, hey, I don't know you. You don't know me, but we know you. It's your music. We love it. Suddenly I felt there's someone shouting on the road, saying we love your song. And then came Bazigar. So when Kali Kali Ki Aankhein happened and when Bazigar or Bazigar happened, and that was the time when I do remember we played this song. It was a December 1992, 31st December night. We played it on the road, the song. And people were dancing. And suddenly I looked up at the skies. I remember that moment. I looked up at the sky. I just looked up and said, I think, I feel I have broken the wall. Because there are people, there is something about this. There is something, I should continue this. And then suddenly all hell broke loose. But after Bazigar, then I was the toast of the 90s with certain other composers also who were doing great work in 90s. So that was the moment I felt I'm there.
Yes.
And suddenly when I got the Filmfare Award, I remember that night very well because we were nominated against super music, Khalnayak. So I don't know, but when they announced my name, my wife was there with me. She said, your name is being announced by Mr. Rajkumar, the late actor. I said, how do you know that? I lip read him. And the award goes to, he did this. And then he said the name loud. She said, it's you. And that was the time Shah Rukh hugged me. And then from that moment till today, I've been working hard. And I thank the people who have loved me so much and my music.
So how has the brand Anu Malik evolved over all these years and generations to be precise?
Still to come actually. Because when people call me a legend, I still feel I've got a lot to offer, a lot to give. People view my brand as among the years, what's your age? So they say, Arey, aap to 40 saal se kaam kar rahe hain. But it looks like 4 days to me because I've still got a lot of tunes in me left. And a lot of work madness is in me. So I feel the brand has evolved. The people love this name called Anu Malik. They love the music, like Ek Garam Chai Ki Pyali Ho Unchi Ye Building, or phir, but they forget that I've done Sandeshe Aate Hain. They should not, because I love my country so much. When I made Sandeshe Aate Hain, it was for all the army people who guard our country. There was LOC Kargil, there's Refugee. Recently I got, my song got 3 national awards just in 2016 for Momo Ke Dhage. So that was a big high. So the brand is evolving, the brand is still on and still lots to give to the world.
And let me tell you, all your songs and all your collaborations with so many people, you have always been in our hearts. You're occupying a great space in our hearts since long time. So that has changed, that has stayed constant.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So when we hear
But when we go to the word brand, can I just add one thing? I want to say also, I really want to thank my producers, early producers, who saw something in me, because I would not be here without them. My directors, actors. I mean, I was lucky enough to get great actors. You know, if you have a great song and you have an Akshay Kumar performing on it, you have a Shah Rukh Khan, you have a Salman, you have an Amir Khan. I think that really made a difference. Great lyric writers, great singers, great musicians. And it's been a journey. So I'm grateful to God for all this.
एंड इनिशियल डेज में आई थिंक जो आप पे ट्रस्ट करके काम आपके साथ करना शुरू करते हैं, आई थिंक दे आर योर ट्रू बिलीवर्स, क्योंकि बाद में तो एवरीबॉडी जंप्स ऑन बोर्ड एंड दे हैव सीन यू ग्रो, सो दे विल ऑलवेज वर्क विद यू.
You're very right, because the earlier time when I met people, I was not even the A of Anu Malik, and I should just go and stand there and hum my tune. And some of the guys said, please don't bother us. I remember, I don't want to name them. There are a lot of people, don't bother us, please. Out. They used to do that. But there were one or two great guys who used to say, there's some magic in you. यार ये क्या बना रहा है तू अभी बना रहा है. But they used to, you know what? Because I'm not the typical composer kind of a thing. My dressing sense was madness. Abhi to my wife has told me not. Now my daughters Anmol have told me not further. I mean, I used to have long hair, to wear beads, wear hats, wear those long boots, to do a lot of things. But can you make a song for me right now? Can you make a? And when I started doing that, they said he's creating it. So that was very important for the one who's going to sign me up. चलो, हम आपको एक मुखड़ा देते हैं from this writer. Can you do? Don't go home and create it. Do it. So I didn't mind them suspecting me. यहीं बैठो. Then I used to open my harmonium and start. Then I used to give them 5 variations of the tune. For example, like I could give 10 variations for that. Right. So they said, oh my God, should we accept this variation or that one? And you made it right here. And one of the producers was very funny. He said, lock the door. That was classic. He said, lock the door. And the writer's here, I am here, and Annu Malik is here with his book. It was a very funny incident. And अब बनाओ.
ताकि भाग भी ना सको, कॉपी भी ना कर सको किसी की हेल्प.
क्योंकि दिमाग that really gave me work. Because क्या होता है कि अगर आप यहाँ बैठे हो और यहाँ कोई नहीं है, there's no musician. I mean, I name one great producer director, Mr. Subhash Ghai. He said, Annu, I want to, you're giving music for यादें. So गाने आज भी बहुत चलते हैं. But the words are written by Mr. Bakshi uncle. Now I don't want you to have any instrument. I said, sir, how can I compose? Don't even touch your harmonium, he said. No guitar, no tabla, no nothing. Just give me a tune. I said, sir, right now. And you can imagine, you feel intimidated because 4-5 लोग बैठे हुए हैं. You're all alone. You're in a music room. You can't touch the piano. You can't touch the harmonium. मैं बैठा हूँ. Suddenly, I said, okay sir, what are the words? नगमे हैं, शिकवे हैं, किस्से हैं, बातें हैं. बातें भूल जाती हैं, यादें याद आती हैं. ये यादें किसी दिलो जानम के बाद, चले जाने के बाद याद आती हैं. I started humming. नगमे हैं. I was humming. किस्से हैं, शिकवे हैं, बातें हैं, यादें, बातें भूल जाती हैं. I was started humming. Da ra ta da da. He didn't react. But when I added this tune, da ra ra, ये यादें किसी दिलो जानम के चले जाने के बाद आती हैं. And he got up and he hugged me. He said, wow, you just made it here. So it took time for people to understand my talent. Now they believe in it. Many people when I go and do shows, they said, make us a song right here. So I said, come on. Annu Malik the magician, they call me. Annu Malik the melody king, they call me. And I love it. I love the people. I love challenges. And I do it for them.
When we hear the word versatility, people relate it with acting या फिर movies. But when I see it, I feel that versatility can also be pronounced as Annu Malik. So what's your secret ingredient?
Okay, Sapna, when you talk about versatility, I'll give you a small trivia. But before that, I want to tell you, if you are given a script, I love reading a script. I love understanding what the director wants. So there's a script reading session with directors who know the jobs. One of them I remember was Mr. Rajkumar Hirani, his first film, Munna Bhai MBBS. Right. He gave me a narration. He's a brilliant director. When we say brilliant, he knew where he was coming from. And for a song situation, he told me, you know, Annu, I want a song which will be shot in the dead of the night in a hospital. I was shocked. I said, what kind of a situation is this? Then I wanted to understand him. I said, Raju ji, bataiye, kya chahte hain aap? Said, there is this boy who is suffering from a terminal disease. He's going to die. और एक रात में उसको सारी जिंदगी की खुशियां दिखानी है. And this has been documented on my show Indian Idol also, when Amir Khan had come with Raju. And Raju sir said this to Amir. Said, I remember Annu Malik getting up from his music room and he opened the door and he started taking rounds in his hall. So he saw me taking 3 rounds. That's what he says. And he said, I remember that he came back, मेरे सामने आके बैठा, and he said, sir, मैं कुछ सुनाऊं? So I told him yes, and Vidhu Vinod Chopra was also there. And Raju sir went on listening. I said, देख ले, I just, आँखों में आँखें डाल, सीख ले. I just, do-do-do, I didn't have the words there. Do-do-do, 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 मरने से पहले जीना. And she laughs. And I said it very softly because it was dead of night, he had said. तो रात के सन्नाटे में आप, you're going to be soft. La la la, tu 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 tu, and he wanted a very seductive number. He got up and hugged me and said, "You're on. We are working together." Right. So the script inspired me. So versatility comes in from the script also. Now for border, when I was making Sandesh Se Aate Hain, I couldn't make a Uchiya building there. That was border. It's the Jawans guarding your country. They give up their lives for your country, for the motherland. They leave their wives, they leave the mother, father, family. They go to Siachen border where there's only snow around, and then they stand there guarding the frontiers of our country. So Gana kya hoga? So that jazba came in. And when Javed Sahab wrote the lyrics, I composed on his words. संदेश से आते हैं, हमें तड़पाते हैं, जो चिट्ठी आती है, वो पूछे जाती है, you know, कि घर कब आओगे, लिखो कब आओगे, कहो कब आओगे, कि तुम बिन ये घर सूना सूना है. That was the border. And when David comes and he has Salman Khan and Sajid Nandiadwala as a producer, said, यार कोई मस्ती वाला गाना चाहिए. So I come out, ऊंची है building. I can imagine Salman doing it. Lift तेरी बंद है, कैसे मैं आऊं, दिल रज़ामंद है. The typical Salman attitude, oh aja, aja. So my versatility comes from the fact that R.D. Burman gave you a chingari koi bhadke. And he also gave you Oh Hasina Zulfa Wali. So I wanted to be like him. I've tried to, I said, you're a complete composer if you can work on any situation. And that's what I've been doing till today.
बट कोई तो प्रोसेस होगी ना आपकी, बिकॉज आई फील कि जब हम बात करते कि ही बिकेम एन ओवरनाइट सक्सेस, या लाइक यू कैन जस्ट कंपोज और यू कैन हम अ ट्यून एंड इट्स सो वंडरफुल, पर उसके पीछे सालों साल लगे हैं तब जाके वो लाइक इट बिकम्स एन ओवरनाइट सक्सेस. तो कोई व्हाट इज योर प्रोसेस या फिर?
सो माय प्रोसेस इज वेरी सिंपल. आई कीप एट इट. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे बोल मिल गए, आई कीप ऑन reading the words, and then मैं उसको पी लेता हूँ. The situation, I'll ask the director, क्या situation है, क्या फिल्म की कहानी क्या है. I drink that story, I live that story, I go into the characters. It's not कि एक दिन में गाना बन गया. कभी कभी गाना एक मिनट में बनता है और कभी कभी महीने लग जाते हैं गाना नहीं बनता. For example, I have done more than almost 300 films, but there have been so many songs that have been rejected by me or by my producer or by my director, and I've kept quiet about it. I said, नहीं कुछ और बनाते हैं, कुछ और बनाते हैं. The process is keep on chipping away at the wall. It's bound to break, but also listen to the director. My director is my king. Whatever he says, I'll do, and in the end, no composer in the world can tell you the proper process. The proper process is Saraswati Ma's blessings. हम लोग कहते हैं वो वहाँ से आता है. Either you have it or you don't have it. It's a gift from the gods, and I'm thankful for the gift, and I relish that gift, and I thank God for the gift. I thank Saraswati Ma with folded hands.
जब हम सुपर हिट जोड़ी की बातें करते हैं तो एक एक्टर की जोड़ी तो हो ही सकती है, बट सलमान खान और आपकी जोड़ी हमेशा सुपर हिट रही है. एनी फॉर्मूला कि सलमान खान है तो मुझे ऐसे सॉन्ग्स देने हैं? इट हैज ऑलवेज बीन सुपर डुपर हिट ऑल योर सॉन्ग्स विद
सलमान की मेरी मुलाकात आई डोंट रिमेंबर एग्जैक्टली, बट एक जगह एक म्यूजिक हॉल हुआ करता था इन जुहू, वेर ही केम टू नो आई एम द कंपोजर, एंड ही सेड यार कुछ जबरदस्त गाने देना. सो ही इज फॉन्ड ऑफ म्यूजिक एंड ही हैज गॉट ट्रेमेंडस सेंस ऑफ म्यूजिक और बहुत समझ रखता है. बट व्हेन आई सॉ सलमान, आई लव द इम्पिशनेस इन हिज आईज, इन हिज स्टाइल ऑफ वॉकिंग. सो मैंने बड़ा उस जमाने में बहुत ऑब्जर्व किया. Now Salman is there for all to see. I mean, he's a star, a superstar. But at that time, when he was just coming in, he had just come in, he became a star also with his earlier films, Maine Pyar Kiya and all that. But when he was in front of me, I said, गाना इसके लिए क्या बनना चाहिए? I saw the way he was walking ना, I think he had that चुलबुलापन. तो ऐसे गाने भी ऐसे होने चाहिए. For example, like गरम चाय की प्याली हो, that would go on Salman. कोई उसको पे. So he's got a swag. They've used that word swag and all. He'll put his fingers in this belt and walk around. He doesn't need to do a lot of dance steps because if you see his face cut, if you look at him, he's a very, very handsome man. Very, very handsome. When I say handsome, there's something magical about him. So that was an inspiration. Like when I used to look at Salman and said, wow, he's inspiring me to make a song. So you need inspiration. Same thing I saw in Shah Rukh. When I did Bazigar, Shah Rukh's intensity of his eyes is madness. You know? So a composer also needs inspiration. Now I got inspiration from great stars. Like when I met Akshay Kumar, I said, wow, yeah, Admi, look at this guy, yaar. He's always like he's springing up and down. So when I made the song, I wanted a heady romantic song, which I gave. Chora ke dil mera, goriya chali tara. So the way he danced and the way he comes, and he goes down on his knees. Pagal hua diva. That was typical Akshay Kumar. And when you had Amir Khan, again such a sensitive actor, so I give him Raja ko Rani se प्यार हो गया और वो दिल कहता है चल उनसे मिल. One of my favorite directors, Mansoor Khan. So music is born out of inspiration, a film script, the director motivating you, the atmosphere. हम माहौल कहते हैं. बहुत सी चीजें होती हैं. And then you get right lyricists, right singers. So, जो आप प्रोसेस की बात कर रहे हो,
I would also add one thing जो आपने पूरा डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया. I would also add कि आप ह्यूमंस को समझ लेते हो, आप अपने एक्टर्स को समझ लेते हो. The way you describe them, I think your understanding of their psychology, their how they are peppy or how they are, and
yeah, I think that is important. What is the script reading for? Why are script sessions done? To understand वो characters क्या बोलने वाले हैं. For example, दम लगा के हैशा, मैंने शरद कटारिया, fabulous director. He said it's about a girl, it's about a boy who dreams of having a star wife, but he sells cassettes, and he marries this girl who is not the girl of his dreams. तो उसके म्यूजिक क्या होंगे, उसके गाने क्या होंगे? So they wanted an end dance song. I wrote that song. That tune was mine, and Varun Grover wrote fabulous lyrics. तुमसे मिले दिल में उठा दर्द करारा. So the situation invited this tune. Without, like you were saying, I read people. Yeah, it's important to read the hero, read the script, understand the director before just jumping in and making a song. गाना ऐसे सब अच्छा बनाते हैं, बहुत अच्छे से गाने बनाते हैं. There are fabulous composers today. I think they're doing great work, great singers we have. But I am blessed. I thank God that I had a Rajkumar Hirani in my life. I've had Mr. Mansoor Khan in my life. I've had David Dhawan in my life. I've had countless of directors who have stood by me, understood my work, egged me on, motivated me. See, again, I would stand by the word teamwork. I may understand you as a person, but if that person is not going to motivate me, the tune won't come. When I was doing Farah Khan's work, Farah Khan came to me and said, I want you to do this film for me. I really want to start my film. I like that hunger in her. She was hungry for work. She wanted someone to be with her at the time. I wanted to be with her at the time. And the result was there. Songs like, Kiska hai ye tumko intizar mein hu na. So she gave me a platform and said, be yourself. And that, what is the number? तुमसे मिलके दिल का है जो हाल क्या कहें. That Qawwali, she wanted a Qawwali. I said, I'll do a Qawwali which will be a rock Qawwali. Right. So we all, she gave me that freedom. Yes. Or a love song when I came out, तुम्हें जो मैंने देखा, तुम्हें, if you don't feel it in your heart, this kind of tune can't be made. When I had an Ekta Kapoor in the earlier days, if you remember the song, she was crazy after the song. तेरे इश्क की दीवानगी सर पे चढ़ के बोले. And she freaked out of the word which came from me. ये क्या हुआ, ये क्या हुआ, दिल ding dong ding dong. She jumped up. She said, I just love this. Dil. She was very young at that time, and then she started dancing. You know, so Ekta also has her own magic. Like when she wanted a beautiful love song, she said, this is Krishna Cottage, and I wanted to make me a song that really tries to come close to that song, Lag Ja Gale. I said, it's impossible. It's impossible. Because Lag Ja Gale is timeless. Ban hi nahi sakta. But the way she said, no, Naino mein badra chhaaye, and you know, those great classics. And I thought of it, and I had Mr. Nilesh Mishra writing, and this tune came to me when I was just humming it. Suna suna, lamha lamha, meri rahein, tanha tanha, da 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 dee, du 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 du. So this tune was a haunting tune. She wanted a haunting melody. उसका अंतरा भी आपको याद होगा. So I felt it. बेपनाह प्यार है आजा, तेरा इंतजार है आजा, सुना सुना. So the tune comes from your heart. You got to feel the emotion, you got to feel the situation, you got to feel the atmosphere, and you got to fall in love with it. And then the tunes are born. So what I'm trying to say is, I may be reading people, but I have to understand the script. ये माहौल होता है, उसके बिना नहीं हो सकता है. At least to me. I mean, that's the way I am made.
We've seen you supporting a lot of young talent. You have encouraged them in most solid way possible. जैसे कि music compose करना हो किसी new talent के लिए. What has motivated you to do that?
It's time to give back for what God has given you. ऊपर वाले ने आपको अनु मलिक बनाया, हम ऐसे तो नहीं बने. And there's so much talent. अगर वो आपके पास आते हैं और कुछ आपसे राय मांगते हैं, help मांगते हैं, which is genuine help, I'm not going to say no to it. And I think I've used Indian Idol as a platform for that. I've used Saregama. I've helped so many youngsters. I've encouraged composers. There are many composers who, if you get a chance to meet them, they'll tell you that Anu Malik phones us up and says, I've loved this song of yours. I've loved this particular tune of yours. And keep it up. So they're surprised. They're not used to another composer coming up and saying, there was one composer only, I'd take his name, who rang me up, Amit Trivedi, and said, I'm in love with Momo Ke Dhage. And Anu sir, keep on doing this kind of work. I like that kind of respect coming from a young composer. And I ring up people and tell them, bro, this song of yours is outstanding. So they wonder, कि ये बोल रहा है दिल से बोल रहा है कि नहीं बोल रहा है, because they can't believe a composer praising your work. But I think if you have a lot of talent in you, if you're blessed by Saraswati Ma, you should not be worried about anything. I thank God for what she has given me. And if I can't help people, I should help youngsters, I should help singers, I should help composers, new directors who come and say, can we work with you? We don't have a certain budget. I said, of course, I'm on. So I think I'm made that way. I'm quite that guy who wants to help people.
But it's such a beautiful thing, you know, when people you look up to, like I'm sure that so many upcoming singers, composers, they look up to you. And when you just give a little pat on their back and just appreciate, it remains forever in their hearts, and that's a lifetime memory for them that you help them create. So that's such a nice gesture on your part.
Thank you, Sapna, but you're right, because that pat on the back is a good word. I mean, I loved to get that pat on the back from my dad and my mom. So I would love to get it from any young composer who says, sir, what a song. So I like to give it back also by saying, you've done this job very well. You've sung this song beautifully. So when you pat that person on his back, he or she is inspired to move ahead in life. And that's the way it should be. That's the way you should always be. You should learn to encourage people.
आपने इतने सारे romantic गाने लिखे हैं. Please tell us about your love story and how it has influenced you.
Well, it's amazing, but when I met my wife, that was in college.
Okay.
I was in Mitibai College. And before that, I had been composing some young romantic numbers. But I do remember that time when I first set my sights on her in Mitibai College. And I remember the scene. So I told my friend, you know that girl standing there, that fair looking girl? He said, yeah. Kya, what about her? I said, she's my wife.
भाभी है तेरी.
सुन नहीं बोला मैंने बोला she's my wife. She बोला what are you talking यार वो बात नहीं करती किसी से. I said no. So she is a Saraswat Brahmin girl. She is, I didn't know that. So she is a South Indian Saraswat Brahmin girl from the GSB community. And I started following her. And my love story was that it started when she told somebody, she told the principal or something, this guy is following me, and the principal said, how can you do that? So I was so enraged. I went away to Khandala. And that was the time when I wrote a beautiful love song. That was that, Dekho baarish ho rahi hai, dekho na dekho, it's raining, it's raining. It was actually raining, July ka mahina tha. When I came back after 10 days, I was scared of my dad. Said, you know, if he complains to my father, I would be told to leave the college. But when I came back, I saw standing on the first floor and she said, where have you been all these days? I said, what? Where have you been all these days? Someone missed me? Someone actually missed me? And then she is my strength, she is my motivation. And I was not the heir of Annu Malik when Anju met me. Anjani, her full name is Anjani. So when she met me, my romance blossomed. I remember like when these romantic songs started coming, when I used to miss her. There were times when I was not supposed to meet her, be allowed to meet her, and that's a different story. And so when I actually composed certain love songs, and it went to such a point that we couldn't live without each other for a second. You know that, and she was the one who told me. I told her, Anju, what do you see in me? Because you asked me about the love story, it's beautiful. What do you see in me? She said, I don't know, but when you hum songs. I said, I don't have a job and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have nothing. How will I support you? She said, you'll become something in life. I remember that line of hers. And that, like you said about the pat on the back, that's why, maybe it comes from there. That was a big pat on the back. You'll become something in life. I feel it. What are you creating? I mean, how do you do it? How do you make this tune? God has blessed you. And I remember when we couldn't do without each other, I went to meet my father-in-law. It was very, very tough, I'll be honest. And I just looked at him and said, I want to marry your daughter. And I would like to tell the world today that he said, okay, what do you do? I said, I'm a composer. What is that? I thought you'd say you're an engineer or a doctor. But he saw my respect for his daughter. And that was the day, in 2 days' time, I remember, my marriage has been very close here. I became an Arya Samaji. So my actual name, many people don't know, is Aditya. So many people don't know about that. So I got married to my wife. I became an absolute Arya Samaji. Totally, I follow the Hindu rituals. And when I met her, I decided this is the only moment which is the most important moment of my life. And my father-in-law said, are you ready for it? I said, absolutely. And that being an Arya Samaji, and till date I follow that Samaj. And so I'm actually now Aditya Annu Malik. Right. Which, because you asked me my love story, so I had to tell this to you.
Can you tell me more about it, your experiences, or how she has influenced you furthermore?
She has influenced me till date. I mean, जो एक शब्द होता है ना, अर्धांगिनी, wife. I would like to say this to the whole world, that she lives up to that name. She has been my biggest supporter, my biggest strength in my times of the worst low moments. She stood by me like that word, a rock of Gibraltar. She stood by me like a rock. And I remember once going back, earlier on I didn't have work, I was so down in the dumps. She knew that he is in a bad shape. She played a song on the radio. I can't hum that tune to you right now. It won't be fair. Hear this. I said, okay. So what about this tune? Whose tune is this? And it was a famous composer of that time. The entire tune was made on my interlude music of an earlier film of Awargi, which was Himaji's production, Hema Maliniji's. If they are coming and lifting your songs, you can get back again. That was that time when I got up and a Tere Dar Pe Sanam was born. That was the time in a Bazigar or Bazigar. That was my support, her support coming to me. So when you ask me how she has supported me through every pain and anguish in my life, she's egged me on. And then I'm supported by 2 daughters. I mean, I thank I'm not against sons. भगवान जिनको लड़के देता है बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन ऊपर वाले का मैं शुक्र मानता हूँ कि मेरे घर में एक नहीं, पहले तो मेरी माँ थी, unfortunately she's not there. I've got 3 ladies in my house and they are my biggest strength. And I don't think, I remember when I had Anmol, so we went for the next child. So when Ada came out, a girl, she said, oh, she looked at me like this. And I knew exactly what that O meant. I said, look, now I don't want any more kids. I've got 2 greatest kids. So if you're implying O with the, कि भाई लड़का तो नहीं चाहिए, I said, no. मुझे भगवान ने इतना कुछ दे दिया अब मुझे. So she had tears in eyes. She said, I choose a right guy. So she was, every woman has their own anxieties. I said, nothing. This is the biggest gift. And to have 3 women in my house, they're my biggest strengths. So my love story of being an Arya Samaji, I miss my father-in-law very much, as I miss my dad and mom. And being called Aditya, which I am actually broken the news, is breaking news for you.
Yes, I wasn't aware. I'm happy to.
Neither does the Wikipedia know anything about it. So, but I'm saying this to you because you came into these questions very beautifully. You asked me about my life story, you asked me about my love story, you asked me about my music, and I think you asked with a lot of goodness in your heart. So I wanted to share it with you.
So nice of you. So what made you become or choose the name Aditya or
so my father-in-law said, what does your dad call you? I said, with the letter, he says, which letter? I mean, he just asked me, which letter suits you? I looked up at the sun. I said, sir, he said, उनका नाम तो, एक नाम तो आदित्य भी है. And you are going to do something my daughter says. So तेरा नाम आदित्य रखे, how is it? I said, okay. But Asha ji had given me the name, pet name Annu. She used to call me Annu. So dad said it sticks to you. Annu Malik. So I never knew कि ये नाम, तो I used to always write Annu Malik. But when he said Aditya, he said, I just loved it. So it became AA. And Anju is also A. Now Anmol is also A. Ada is also A. So we all A's. So Annu Aditya Malik. So, but then on the screen was Annu Malik, Annu Malik, Annu Malik, music by Annu Malik. It stuck. But actually now, this breaking news is going to come through you properly.
Yeah. And we all know you as an amazing music composer. I am so thrilled, I'm mesmerized. I don't have words to just sit next to you and hear all the songs which I've always loved. So that part we all know. But what is Annu Malik like a dad?
That you should ask my daughters. You should actually ask them next time. But yes, many people tell their stories about a lot of things. My wife went through a lot of problems. And there came a time when I said, let's not go for a baby. Lot of problems. Itni problems thi usko, कि I said, you are important to me. She couldn't believe it. I said, you are important to me, don't forget. But she said, no. With a lot of difficulty, lot of prayers, lot of prayers, we got my first daughter. I remember I was actually in the operation theatre. So I remember that moment very well. I fell down on my knees when a real live baby came. And I just looked at Anmol and I cried and I cried and I cried. Same thing for Ada. But I became such a dad that I just, it's impossible to put it in words. You are a daughter of someone. So your relationship with your father cannot be described. I mean, even if I ask you, how is your relationship with your father? It's impossible. That old saying, a son is a son till he gets himself a wife, but a daughter is a daughter for the rest of your life. And I'll give you a small example on this. My relationship with my daughter and why I'm grateful to God is if you ask a son, if the father says, like it's happened to me, my father said, Anu, come and meet me today at 11 a.m. Dad, I'm coming. I would reach there at 12. But I would meet him. But if I was to tell this to my daughter Anmol or Ada, come and meet dad at 10, they would be ready at 7 o'clock in the morning. तो लड़का 1 घंटा लेट आता है बाप से मिलने, माँ बाप से, और बेटी 2 घंटा पहले आती है. सो ये जो मैं बात कहना चाह रहा हूँ सारी दुनिया से और जो लोग मुझे सुन रहे हैं through you, is that all those guys who have daughters, I mean the guys who have sons, they are great. I am a son to my father. I made my mother, father very proud. I think so, worked hard. But you can't describe how, I indulge them. But I also control them, not in a bad way. I tell them कि ये सही है, ये सही नहीं है. I guide them. Like I guide singers. You can do this. If they come to me for help, I'll sit down with them, give them a ear, and understand their problems. And their tears are my tears. When they smile, I smile. I mean, if they're not in a good mood, my whole day is bad. So I want to get up in the morning and see that they're smiling. I want to see my wife smiling. I want to see my daughter smiling. If they're not smiling, I'm worried. Kuch ho raha hai. So I'm a very emotional dad, like any father who loves his daughters. And I just adore them. I just can't say no to them. But they're very hardworking. My girls, oh my God. They said, Dad, you achieved everything the hard way. Let us also work and achieve everything the hard way. So they worked very, very hard, and they have struggled a lot. They are still struggling, but I'm proud of them.
Because they have the role model right in front of them who has literally built from zero to, right where you are.
Yeah, because Anmol knows my entire story of Anmol. I mean, I've never hidden anything from Anmol. In fact, she's been documenting a lot of incidents in my life. And I took Anju's permission. I said, I'm going to share everything with her. So with Ada and Anmol, I sometimes sit alone and share every minute personal, professional detail with them. And I tell them, this is what happened with your dad when he first started. This is what he has done. Right. In fact, I've said, if anyone can do anything, I've made a will in such a way that if you want to do something on my life, only you two can make it. Nobody else can understand. Because the things I've told them, and they're taken aback at the struggle, at the pain, the anxiety, the fear, and to stop that storm, and then come out with a romantic song. Agar yahan problem ho rahi hai, and I'm coming out with a soft romantic number. Like I remember working with a very, very good producer, Yash Johar, who's Karan Johar's father. He was going through his own stress at that time. I was going through my own stress, but उस ज़माने में हम गाने बना रहे थे. वो गाना था ना वो, मेरे महबूब मेरे सनम, शुक्रिया मेहरबानी करम. वो गाना इतना चलता है आज भी on Shahrukh, Sonali and Juhi Chawla. But I never told him I'm going through a problem. He never told me. So film industry is like that. Keep your problems at home. Let the show begin. Yeah. And when Aditya Chopra signed me up for this film, Damrake Ki Haisha, he gave me work at the time when I needed work the most. I was hungry. So, we are like a family. The whole industry is like a family. We are always there for each other in some way or the other.
सर, आप एक बहुत अच्छे म्यूजिक कंपोजर हो, पर साथ ही साथ आप स्पोर्ट्स के भी बड़े फैन हो, मैंने सुना है. तो which team do you support or what sports do you support?
I support my favorite team, Mumbai Indians. I love Mumbai Indians. I love the team, and I just can't do without it. I started loving them from the first IPL when it started, when it came in the country. And there's a beautiful trivia on this. For the first time I went to see the match at Wankhede. All were wearing blue, their color t-shirt. And I was wearing my green t-shirt. They came out with this. They said, the family said, or one of them came up from the team management, said, "Aap ye color pehen lo, blue wala." So I said, hold on, I pehanta hu. And I was just standing there, and the opposition's wickets started falling. And they all started looking at me. And I said, it's the green color, it's the green color. और जहाँ आप रुके हो वहीं खड़े रहना, आप हिलना नहीं. And I said, I'm not going to change this. They said, don't change it. And after that, we started winning all the matches, a lot of them. And I used to always wear my green color. यहाँ तक कि in 2011, when we won the World Cup and the last 6 at Wankhede, I was wearing the green shirt.
Right.
And I was cheering madly. In fact, that shirt को तो कितना फाड़ने की कोशिश की थी. After people had gone mad after that last 6 and all. But from that day onwards, from the IPL till today, whenever you see me in the stand, it'll always be green.
Right.
And I love Mumbai Indians, and I adore Sachin. And of course, Virat Kohli is the toast of the world. So is Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and so is everybody else. But am I Indians? Rohit, am I Indians? Bombay Indians. I just can't do without the team.
So you have been very honest. I loved the conversation we had so far, but now I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So you have to be very, very quick, and
If I'm not quick, forgive me, but I'll try to answer as much as I can. I mean,
so we would love to hear all your answers. So as quick as you can be.
अच्छा भाई द वे मैं सुनने वाला देखने वाला बताना चाहता हूँ, मुझे कुछ पता नहीं कि रैपिड फायर क्या बोलने वाली है. सो अगर कुछ गलती हो जो मुझे माफ कर देना प्लीज. यू गाइस हैव मेड मी अनु मलिक एंड आई लव यू ऑल.
One message for the haters or trollers.
Use your time for something constructive. Like I use my time to make a song. तुम भी हमारे देश को आगे बढ़ाओ, कोई नई नई चीजें सोचो, इजाद करो. As our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji always says, keep on creating, be thankful to God for the knowledge that you have, and instead of just hating somebody, use that time. Like I use that time, I don't hate anybody. मेरे में इतनी सी भी नफरत नहीं है. People who have hurt me as much as they can, I don't have so much anger against them, because I use that time to make my songs, to make a new tune. Because life is once. I mean, इस जिंदगी में आप अपने देश के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं वो सोचो, आप अपनी फैमिली के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं वो सोचो, अपने दोस्तों के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं. People who need you, who need your help, how do you guide them? Use that time and energy to do that. So be constructive, don't be destructive.
Your go-to stress buster playlist includes of?
In terms of music,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's amazing. But the song that I've always heard is of Mary Hopkins, which is a very famous number. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to la da 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 dee. I just sing that song. Oh ma la da dee da 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 dee da 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 dee. I don't remember the words. I remember these words. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived the life we choose. We'd fight and never lose. For we were young and sure to be that way. La 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 la. So I love this melody and the words that eggs me on that life is passing you by. Go ahead in life, make the most of your time. And there is so much music, and when I listen to our songs, of course, evergreen R.D. Burman songs, I always listen to that one particular number. तुमने मुझे देखा होकर मेहरबान, नुरुरुरी ये ज़मीं थम गया आसमां जाने मन. I love melody, so I love these songs. But I want to tell my listeners, I don't hear a lot of music because I'm so engrossed in creating that I don't have the time to relax and enjoy the luxury of hearing songs, including my songs. जब मैं अपने गाने बनाता हूँ, many questions have been asked. Do you hear your music? तूने ये पूछा नहीं सपना, ये पूछना चाहिए था.
Wait. Do you hear your music?
Good. ये question मेरा है. ये question मेरा है. So yes and no. I hear it on the day of the recording. जब गाना बन जाता है, I hear it in the car, while coming home. But strangely, once the song is done, I never hear it unless I have to do a show and someone says, आपको ये गाने public demand कर रही है. Then I'll sing the songs. But no, I don't hear my songs or even other people's songs. People say you should listen to other people's music. But I sometimes feel, बहुत से गाने सुनने में ना, sometimes you lose your sense of direction. So this keeps on coming. I want to have a clean slate जब मैं गाने बनाऊं कि ये मेरा गाना है. So me hearing my music is kabhi kabar. For example, I may have heard someone who's really phoned me and said, "Wow, क्या गाना बना है." तो मतलब क्या बात है इस गाने में? इस गाने में क्या बात है? यार चुरा के दिल में क्या गाना? अरे मोमो के धागे क्या गाना है? अरे क्या गाना तूने बनाया यार? तो मैं सुन लेता हूँ थोड़ा सा, हाँ क्या मैंने बनाया, बट देन बिफोर आई कैन गेट कैरिड अवे आई गो अवे फ्रॉम इट. सो ऑनेस्टली आई डोंट नो मच ऑफ म्यूजिक.
जब बहुत लोग ऑलरेडी आपके गाने सुन रहे थे, लाइक हाँ सब सुन
नहीं, अगर शो पर गाना हो तो कर लेते हैं, बट अदरवाइज हो गया. अभी इट्स लाइक आस्किंग अ स्टार, डू यू सी योर ओन फिल्म्स? आई थिंक मेनी ऑफ द स्टार, आई एम श्योर दे विल से नो. एक बार देख ली, फैमिली ने देख ली. लाइक आई विल टेल यू समथिंग अबाउट माय रियलिटी शोज. आई शूट on the shows, I come back home, so I tell my producer, हाँ मैंने शो देखा, यार एक कमाल था. Okay guys, producers don't get angry, but actually I don't want to see that Annu Malik. You understand what I'm saying? Screen पर जो Annu Malik है is totally different from what I'm at home. So I said, is that me? ये मैंने बोला है, मैं ऐसे गा रहा हूँ, मैं ऐसे टेबल पर खड़ा हो गया, मैं नाच रहा हूँ, आप मुंबई आ रहे हो, ये हो रहा है, या सारेगामा पे I recently stood up for that young girl singer and stood up and said, "Claire, क्या गाया?" And she's saying, "I was waiting for you to stand on the desk, on the table." तो ये सब चीजें होती है ना, मैं उस वक्त I am a different person. So sometimes I don't watch my shows also. I just pray कि अच्छा जाए.
तो ये मैंने लिखा नहीं है, पर impromptu ख्याल आया मुझे कि how often do you Google yourself?
It's a very good question. Actually, दो बार मैंने किया था.
सिर्फ दो बार?
दो या तीन बार. अन्नू मलिक के बारे में क्या लिखा? And then I realized that on Wikipedia and all the social media platforms, anyone can write anything. Anyone can say anything. But जो actual अन्नू मलिक है वो तो मैं हूँ. तो मैं अपने बारे में पढ़ के करूँगा तो क्या करूँगा? But वो जो लिख रहे हैं, वो जो मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, वो है ही नहीं मैं. So I feel very good कि they don't know कि भाई जो मैं हूँ, that I, so they have not written that. So I just, अभी मैं दिखता ही नहीं. I don't watch. I don't see anything. If someone comes and says आपके बारे में, very good. God bless.
Okay, a rumor about you that you wish was true.
That I was an absolute, मतलब लोग कहते थे trillionaire. I'm good. But somebody, एक बार मैंने ये भी पढ़ा था, अन्नू मलिक ओन्स ऐसे. बाबा मैंने,
तो आप लिख दो ना नीचे तथास्तु.
नहीं मैं वो नहीं लिखता. मैं बोला भैया मैंने बहुत स्ट्रगल किए, जो मेहनत करके पैसे कमाए वो यहाँ सबको नजर आते हैं. एंड आई एम ग्रेटफुल टू गॉड. एंड यस, आई एम अ वेरी blessed person as far as talent is concerned. And I thank God for that. I've always said this in all my interviews. In fact, with you when I've been talking, मैंने 100 बार सरस्वती माँ का शुक्रिया किया. Because without her blessings, I would not be Annu Malik. And a rumor about me that should be true is that Annu Malik just won the Oscars. Wow. That's my dream. It's everyone's dreams. Yes. So, जिनको मिलता है, मैं उनके लिए ताली बजाता हूँ. And I say, wow, what an achievement. So I think, and there's one thing good about me is when somebody achieves a certain status, I can swear on my music, I've got them and clap for them. So I think my God knows that. Many people can't believe, how is it possible?
But it's very difficult, don't you think कि किसी और के लिए खुश होना भी एक struggle है?
नहीं सपना, I think it's not a struggle because unless आपके अंदर, अगर आप में वो जज्बा है खुश होने का तो it'll be easy. For example, I know the मेहनत that person went through to get that award. Yeah. I mean, you just can't get it. I mean, amongst so many millions of people, you just can't achieve that. So उसकी मेहनत को मैं salute कर रहा हूँ. When A.R. Rahman won that award, I clapped. When M.M. Cream, now Kirwani के नाम पर, he won that award, my wife was shocked. I got him and clapped. I said, wow, just wow. It's great for the country. It's great for his family. And look at the mehnat. Look at his hard work that made him get that award. So I view life like that. I don't view life in a vindictive manner. And many people may not believe this, but it's a fact. I would not have survived so long if I hated somebody. I would not have survived so long if I had anger or angst against someone. जिन्होंने मुझे इतनी गालियाँ भी दी होगी, तकलीफ भी दी होगी, I say, God bless you. But I will keep on thanking God for the talent and keep on loving and blessing people. Because God has brought about the change in me. You have to be that way. This talent is for what? You can't burn yourself inside. You have to be happy, show on your face, show on your music. So I don't have time to hate at all. But there's little time to love because how long are you here? I mean, लाख लाख शोर करो ऊपर वाले का कि आप यहाँ तक पहुँचे हो. That's the way I look at life.
Yes. I mean, that's an absolutely amazing way to see, and even I believe so, that why to keep so much baggage of hatred in your heart? There is no space left.
मतलब ही नहीं है, मतलब ही नहीं, इधर उधर की बातें करना है, आपको ये बात, it doesn't, and suddenly when that time won't come back. So you've lost that time. I could have used that, like I've used my time to do shows, I've used my time to do music, I'm doing a lot of other songs, and spend the time with my wife and children. There's so much to do in the world than just, it's like that saying, na? It's like a worry. You heard of the word worry. Worry is like a rocking chair. It makes you do something, but takes you nowhere.
Yes, true.
That's a beautiful line which I love. Worry is like a rocking chair. It makes you do something. आप कुछ कर रहे हैं, but it takes you nowhere. आप जा रहे कहीं नहीं हैं. So why think about it? Just move ahead, which is constructive and not destructive.
If you were not a musician, what would your 3 alternate choices have been?
Well, I want to serve my country. I'm still serving through my music. When I was young, when I finished my Bachelor of Arts and then went to do a Masters, and my wife did Masters from Kalina Campus University in Mumbai, I wanted to join the IAS. And then I wanted to be the police officer. So I've said IAS, a police officer, and serving my country in any capacity.
A singer, according to you, from earlier cinema days, you think would be relevant even today?
Kishore Kumar. Oh my God, no one better than him. I love Mohammed Rafi Saab, but Kishore Kumar makes your heart beat. I don't know when he sings, oh mere dil, his voice, the composition is fantastic, but his voice, Jaane jaan dhoondta phir raha. Even if he was around today, he would be the Kishore Kumar. He just makes your heart beat.
Name 5 independent artists whose content you follow.
Not much, to be very honest, but I'm liking what indie pop is doing now. I mean, I may not know the names, but I keep on hearing songs. Suddenly, कुछ गाना सामने आ जाता है ना. I say, wow, what sound production, what music production, what arrangements, what singing. There are new voices on the block, new singers on the block, and everyone is doing a lot of work. It will be very unfair to choose one particular group or a song or a singer, but YouTube or even just releasing a song on YouTube, and so much talent is being discovered now. It's amazing. Oh, he's composed that. It's his song. And I wonder, wow, this Mahan country of ours has got so much talent.
Anu Malik, the singer or music producer?
Both in a way. For example, when I sing songs which are my type. For example, I would not sing a Sandesi Aate, because that was brilliantly sung by Sonu Nigam and Rukumar Rathod. Because Sonu was an outstanding singer. So, but if there's a garam chai ki pyali ho, that's Anu Malik all the way. Nobody could sing it better than me. Many people also follow and make fun out of it. A garam chai ki. I said, guys, that's not Anu Malik. Anu Malik is a garam chai ki pyali ho. So I have a distinctive voice. Like Ochi hai building, that's me. Dekho barish ho rahi hai, that's me. Janam samjha karo, that's me. So जो मेरी आवाज के गाने वो मेरी आवाज के गाने हैं, और जो गाने सिंगर्स के हैं, जो प्रो सिंगर्स हैं, वो उनके हैं. So I don't mix the two. And as far as what would I choose to be, a bit of both, because that's made me Anu Malik.
So thank you so much for this amazing conversation. Trust me, I mean, I could hardly blink at times because your answers were so right from the bottom of your heart, and I could totally sense, and I have literally heard you and learned so many things right away. And trust me, today is the day when I regret that I can't sing well, because आप इतने अच्छे songs हम कर रहे हो, मैं कर रही हूँ. I wish I could sing and you could have told me कि आ जाओ बॉम्बे.
अच्छा, आप मुंबई आ चुकी हैं, आप आने वाले नहीं, अब आ चुकी हैं. But the truth is that your questions were really from the heart, and I actually felt like talking to you. and opening my heart to you, because there are certain personal details which I told you, which I've never told anyone.
I'm lucky that you
Yeah,
did
so you've
that.
got that.
Thank you.
And hopefully the people of India shall love me more, because guys, I love you more than anything else in the world. आपकी वजह से मैं अन्नू मलिक हूँ. Thank you so much for always loving me and my music.
Thank you.
Thank you.